the night is quiet and shadows fall, I'll be beside you whenever you call. When worries weigh heavy and fears take flight, I'll be your strength, guiding through the night. And when the days are dark and heavy on your heart, I'll be the voice to guide you through the dim. Strong walls may crumble, but within you've got the spark. Just turn the key, let light dissolve the grim. Did you think you were alone in your feelings? Strike a match, let your inner strength be seen. Welcome to all things serious. In the depths of your despair, where demons roam, I'll be the hand to hold. You're never alone. When storms rage fierce and winds blow strong, I'll be the shelter in your soul where you belong. Welcome to all things serious.
Welcome, everybody. How are we all doing today? Welcome in, Rubber. How are we doing? Those of you in the background, I hope we're having a wonderful evening. Tonight's live, Sweaty, welcome, is about depression and how it affects us all. Because depression is real. But before I get started, I hope everybody had a wonderful day. And if not, we're here for you. And don't be afraid to tell us about your day and what you're struggling with. Want to be sleuthing something? Welcome. Juicer, how you doing? Oh, lady, oh. How you doing? So, I normally don't, it's been a while since I've covered mental health issues or problems or thoughts. I mainly cover certain subjects like bipolar and PTSD, but I've never covered basic just depression. Sweet Misery, how you doing? But what I want to do is I'm going to cover basic depression, and I'm going to open up the panel for people to come up. So depression is a mental health condition that can affect anyone, regardless of age, gender, race, and ethnicity. It's characterized by low mood and loss of interest in activities for long periods of time. Depression can impact a person's thoughts, feelings, behavior, and sense of well-being. Depression can be caused by a number of factors, including brain chemistry, an imbalance of neurotransmitters like serotonin or dopamine, genetics. A first-degree relative with depression can increase the likelihood of developing it. Stressful life events, trauma, divorce, the death of a loved one, isolation, and lack of support. Medical conditions, chronic pain, diabetes, and other chronic conditions. Depression can affect all aspects of life, including relationships, work, and school. It can also co-occur with mental disorders or chronic illnesses. Jody Ann, welcome in. So they say depression can be treated with medication and psychotherapy. A primary care doctor or a psychiatrist can prescribe medication, which I don't promote medication here. I promote therapy. I promote therapy. And many people also benefit from seeing a mental health professional. And if medication is required, That's between you and your doctor or a psychiatrist. Some coping strategies include staying in touch with others, being active, facing fears, limited alcohol consumption, or none at all, eating a healthy diet, having a routine. Now, with that being said, hello, Regina, my friend. I hope you're doing well. All saying, I hope you're doing well. Opal, I hope you're doing well. Now, I'm going to drop the link for those of you who want to join me on panel and talk about stuff that you're struggling with and what you have done so far to conquer it, or if you're trying to conquer it. Are we still on for Sunday, Sweet Misery? This Sunday? So Sweaty says, I have clinical depression, and when it hits, I nurture it like a newborn baby, which is dumb, but I do. Well, it's not dumb. It's not dumb. Nothing is ever dumb. I will tell you that. It's on how you cope. Okay. You know, some of us we're not perfect. Want to be sleuthing something? You know, there's people around you who are here for you. You know, when you lose somebody close to you, it is very difficult. It's a grieving process. And it could take a lifetime to grieve. You know, it's normal to grieve. It's normal. It's normal to grieve, want to be sleuthing something. Hello, Sweaty.
Hey, girl. Hey.
How are you doing?
Today has been one of those days that I'm going to look back on and be like, wow, I did that. I did that. But, I actually left my house. I've been basically a shut-in for nearly 5 years. I was talking to Jen today, and I'm like, there's hardly no box that has been left unchecked in the list of things that can just F up your brain for life. I found my father deceased.
Yep.
I was sexually abused from age 3 to 12. I coped with that as a child because I didn't have that mom that wanted to be a mom. So I coped with food. And still, my love language to this day is food. I've got 2 really fat dogs, and I've got my children are overweight because that's how I express my love is with food, and that is how I coped with things was with food. It was my reward, it was my punishment, it was my everything. And by the time I was in probably 5th grade, I think I was 200 pounds in 5th grade. And after that, I wouldn't let my mom put my weight in we had these little school books where you put your picture and what you're into and all that. After
Yep.
5th grade, I wouldn't let her do it anymore. I have since lost 340 pounds in my life. I've been in just basically really effed up relationships. My kid's dad, I was married to him for 18 years and he's a rageaholic. So you tiptoe through life trying not to, cause any waves to make him mad. And it was like, it molds you, and like that depression becomes a part of your chromosome list, just about, it gets deep into you. And then just, I could go through my life. When I start out with a new therapist, it takes us like 3 sessions to get through the crap that's happened in my life. I found my father deceased. My mom, we were all, me, my sister, and my mom were planning on going on a cruise. And so as part of that preparation, this was back when the COVID vaccines were being rushed out into the communities without any real testing. And so they wanted to bring people out of, because they told us, shelter in place. This is spreading. People are dying, blah, blah, blah. So they rushed and brought these vaccinations out into the public. And one of the things that I didn't even know was a possibility was my mom got that vaccine to go on this cruise. And within 24 hours, she had complete platelet failure. And she died. It took her savagely 6 weeks later. So here I'm thinking I'm planning on going on this cruise with my mom and blah, blah, blah. And she was just like gone just like that. So there's a lot of stuff I've been through in my life. I've never talked about all of these things. I've talked about some of them, but I've never talked about all of them, especially online, because people will take that and use it against you and try to hurt you with the things that you've overcome in your life. So 5 years ago, I was gardening. I'm sure you're curious as to how I became so sick. I was gardening in my backyard. I plucked a strawberry off of the vine and I put it into my mouth without washing it off, taking any precautions. And it had one of those new super bugs on it. And it completely wiped out my immune system. I got
Man,
a systemic infection. I went bald. I was covered in scabs, and I had to stay in quarantine for 5 years. And for me, obviously I'm a chatty Cathy. To be completely isolated for almost 5 years, and that came off of the me finding my father deceased, and he was my best friend, and he'd been gone for 2 days. So it was traumatic, it was disgusting, it was a lot, and that broke my brain. I say that a lot, but it broke my brain. And I got sick shortly after that, and I was happy to stay in quarantine. I was fine. I live by myself with my 2 dogs. I'll stay here and just immerse myself in this. And that's what I did. And then I found, this community of people that I thought, oh, these are my friends. And then some really, really,
things, yeah, in certain communities, things can, where you think you're accepted and loved and everything like that, things can go south in some cases.
sweet
Yes.
misery. It's funny that you make that comment, because one of my first, because I also started drinking to cope, because I could not soothe myself with food, because I had gotten gastric bypass. So when I couldn't comfort myself with a Twinkie, my dentist, because I had TMJ, my dentist suggested, just have like a hot toddy or something at night, and it'll loosen those muscles up. Man, I took that advice and ran with it. And I became a hardcore drinker. And so,
Are you sober now?
yes, I have not drank in 15 years.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Ruts, I had it in 2002. I had an open Roux-en-Y gastric exclusion, and it failed. At that time, they put a stoma on the top of your bypass, and you have two separate stomachs, and mine failed after like 8 months. But I lost 100 pounds in that 8 months, and that was enough of a jump start for me to be like, wow, people treat you so differently. You know, when I was 440 pounds, I could be standing on the side of the road with my two little babies, and everybody would just drive by. You got a flat tire, they just keep on keeping on. Nobody opens doors for you. You're basically, people think that people that are overweight are smelly, that you're lazy, slovenly, you know. And when I lost weight and people started treating me differently, I was just like, wow, this is like really messed up. I don't think I like this. So when I couldn't comfort myself with food, then I did turn to alcohol. And I drank for, I think, 7 years, something like that. I still have elevated enzymes, and I've been sober for 15 years. So I was, you know, I lost all that weight. And when you have a bypass, there's no digestion that takes place. That you drink that alcohol, it just hits your liver like boom. So I did cause some issues with my liver, but I have not, had alcohol. And that's going to be weird at my, that was one of the first things I'm like, man, I'm not going to be able to do the toast, blah, blah, blah. And Sam's like, we're getting you a non-alcoholic champagne, because it's ironic that their dad, my ex, we were married for 18 years. He ended up, after we got divorced, married an alcoholic. And so her and I are going to share a bottle of non-alcoholic champagne. But when the depression hits me, I don't have coping skills. I was, you know, I have to learn better coping skills because I just spiral. I don't know how to deal with it.
Sorry, Sweaty. Wannabe Sleuthin said, I lost weight. When I lost 100 pounds, I had no idea how to handle the attention. I handled it very, I'm not going to say that word.
I did
I
the
messed
same
that
thing.
sentence all up.
I did the same thing. And around the time when I started looking like really, you know, I was in my 20s, so I was starting to look hot. I can say that. I was a cutie patootie when I was younger. I started, you know, dressing differently, and my husband did not like that, not one bit. He did not like one bit that I was getting attention from other men were noticing me, and it caused a big rift. Our marriage was really better when I hated myself, and when I got out of that, then, you know, we were married for 18 years, but I just,
Relationships can be strenuous too, mentally, physically, and emotionally.
it takes a lot.
It sounded like yours was strenuous mentally.
It was very strenuous mentally, and it's like I sought out these men who were like, I always got with like the rageaholics and the ones that had no patience, and I kind of would blame myself for that, you know what I'm saying?
Well, it was like me. I was looking for the opposite of my mother. I was looking for the opposite. Instead of looking for somebody like my mother, I was looking for the opposite of my mother. Okay.
And I basically married my mother. They had the personality. My mom did not like being a mom, and she was not a very nice mom. I later in life we developed a really good relationship, but not for like 30 years. And I didn't even realize I was seeking that out, you know, until you can stand back and look at it. You're like, wow, I was doing
yeah.
that. I was.
Yep. You
So
shared a
how's,
lot with us, Sweaty. You shared a lot with us.
I'll probably
And
regret it, but I'm tired of feeling like I need to be scared of who I
how do you
am.
feel now sharing it? How do you feel now?
Free, you know. I don't feel
That's what
like I
you're
have to.
supposed to feel.
I
That's what
don't
you're
feel like I
supposed to
have.
feel.
There's days when I'm not happy, and I've got a really great sense of humor, and I'll be like so unhappy and miserable, and yet I'm making everybody laugh except myself. And so now, if I'm not happy, I'm not going to pretend that I'm not. But it's also it's very freeing to be able to say, you know what, this is who I am. These are my boundaries. This is what I decide. I am going to decide from now on what happens in my life instead of letting everything rule me. Like if something bad comes in the mail, it's like it just takes over my whole day and I'll just wallow in it. And I don't want to do that anymore. I want to be able to put on my shoes and go out my front door like everybody else because I've been in this house for 5 years.
You know what I tell people? Control the things you can control. Don't try to control things you can't control. Because that is very difficult because you can't control things you can't control. Just let those things happen.
It's
But the
very
things
true.
you can control, you control those things. It sounds weird saying it, but once you actually understand it, it makes a big difference. You can control the things are your life. You can control when you wake up and go to sleep. You can control when you leave the house, when you go to the store, the things you do. But like you can't control the people around you. You can't control what comes in the mail. You can't control the weather. There's things you can't control. Just go with the flow. Let it happen. Have a smile on your face when it does. Enjoy.
Humor is a big coping mechanism for me. I have the most inappropriate humor. It's gotten me into some trouble over the years, but I also need to make friends with how I really feel,
Yes.
and take say, okay,
Relationships.
I'm having a minute.
Relationships.
Yep, I'm having a minute here, but I'm not going to let it ruin my entire day, and it's not going to affect my relationships with my kids and everyone else in my life because when I go into a funk, I go into a funk and I don't answer the phone. I don't eat. I don't take care of myself. I just roll around in it, and I don't want to do that no more. I'm tired of, I'm no more. Today was I drew the line in the sand.
Yep. And when I talked to you earlier, when I was up on another panel with you, you told me how you went out of the house for 3 hours and you went to the store, you went shopping, you went to the pet shop. You did things. You drove around. You checked out the scenery. You were just cruising. That's amazing. That is amazing feat, especially when the last time I talked to you, the only time you would leave your house is just to go to doctor's appointments.
Yep. And I would,
And don't do
I
it
wouldn't,
if you just take it baby steps at a time.
and I
Yesterday,
wouldn't
you
even
did.
go out unless someone else drove me. I wouldn't even to drive my own car. Like I said, my car only has 17,000 miles on it, and I drove to Chicago with my daughter once, and to Cincinnati once for when we had deaths in the family, and I had to. The only time I would leave my house is when, my daughter would be like, "Mom, you have to go. You can't miss Aunt Linda's funeral. You can't. Mom will never forgive you for that." So I would think about it for like days and days ahead of time. Oh my God, in 2 days I have to do blah, 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 whatever the thing is. And I would absolutely dread it. And so for me to voluntarily, for no reason, I had no reason to get up and get dressed and get myself ready and go out and get in my car. I drove my car. I felt like I was doing something illegal driving my car. It was a nervous wreck. I haven't driven in so long. And it was absolutely so satisfying. I can't believe how much this town has changed. We were one of the first cities that got licensed for legal marijuana, and it caused like this business boom like you would not believe. We've got like 100 new restaurants. Like, oh my God, this looks so different. Aldi's is here now. We have Chipotle. What is going on? And and I've been missing it all because I've been sitting here being afraid, being so afraid that something was going to go wrong that I would just do nothing.
Wannabe sleuthing something asks, how many cats do you have?
I have 2 dogs, and I'm a musician and a glass artist, so I do keep myself entertained. But I would do it all in this little bubble. And I just don't want to do it anymore. It's
So you're a glass blower?
I don't blow the glass. What I do is I will, like, I go to like resale shops and whatnot, and I buy cool pieces of glass that I like, and then I turn them into something else. I'll send you some pictures or something. But
Yeah.
I make big glass flowers. My number one thing that I sell is I make these quirky little owls. But I had no idea, because I've always been big time into music. I sing and play several instruments. I had no idea that I could even draw. And after my dad passed away, and I found him after he passed away, and he'd been gone for 2 days. I was having a sleep study done, and so we lived right next door to each other, and I actually had to break into his house when I knew he was gone. When I pulled into his driveway, his windows were nothing but flies. I knew he was gone, but I still climbed through the window because my dad would throw the deadbolts when he was going to sleep or whatever. I had a key to get in, but I couldn't get in because the deadbolt was thrown. So I climbed in through the window, and it was, I mean, they asked me, "Are you sure that's your dad?" And I'm like, "Well, those are his shoes on his feet." And it was gruesome. It was the most traumatic thing I've ever had to deal with in my life, and like I said, it absolutely broke my brain. And that was like a real big turning point for me, because that's when I went into the bubble, and I just didn't want to deal with nothing, so I just did nothing. And I just don't want to do that anymore. And yesterday was a huge turning point for me.
That's awesome to hear that you're finally starting to focus on your mental health and your well-being.
Mm-hmm. I've got a lot of bridges to mend. I'm gonna sell my house. I'm gonna move to be closer to my daughter. She's my best friend. I'm her best friend, and I'd love to be able to get together once a week. I absolutely love the man she's marrying. She's getting married in 26. And I want to be there. I want to be a part of it. I don't want to be getting texts with pictures of her trying on her wedding gown. I don't want to watch a video of her bridal shower. I want to be there. I don't want to be a picture on the table either.
Hey,
Because,
Sweaty, they're asking, what instruments do you play?
I play flute, cajon, sax, basically any woodwind I can play. I'm like an idiot savant when it comes to music.
Because Viprin, he was in chat earlier. He's one of my mods, and he's a friend of mine. He plays instruments too. He's a musician himself.
Yeah, I taught both of my kids knew how to read music before, and I can transpose. Flute is one staff bar below alto sax, so I can take sax music and turn it into flute in my head, and so that's not an easy thing to do. So especially when I was in high school, when you have all those competitions, I was big time into it. I was in the jazz band. I was in the every band I could get into. I played at my church. I sang all over the place. I don't really like to read instruments just because I have OCD for germs, and like you got to suck on the reed and then put it in a box, and then the next day take that nasty thing out and put it back in your mouth. Ugh. No, thank you. But I can play saxophone. I just don't like the reed. My son plays trumpet. My daughter plays flute. My daughter can play. She's like me. She can play anything. I used to play guitar, but I have issues with my fingers locking, and I haven't played in years. But my kids knew how to read music and play instruments before they knew their ABCs. And so, like, my son ended up, I can't believe I grew him in my body because he is a little genius. He graduated from Michigan Technological University up in the UP, and he's an engineer. My daughter is like my little twin. She's so much like me that it's scary, except she has way better coping skills than me. Do you play
So,
anything?
do I? I do voices. That's the only
Such
thing I'm good
as?
at. I can't play an instrument to save my life. I tried the clarinet. I tried the flute. I tried the trombone. I tried wind instruments because the only time I can play guitar is when I'm heavily intoxicated. When I'm sober, I'm out of tune. It's not even funny. So Vibrant said to play anything and everything until my brain issues. But trumpet was the only one that wasn't self-taught.
The trumpet's a hard one, I think. You got to have that, I'm sure, that uh, be able to maneuver it to hit the higher ranges and whatnot. My son was really good at it. The guy that my daughter is marrying can play just about every instrument that there is, and he's actually a music teacher now. But he's extremely talented. We've got a lot of musicians in my family. Um, and music for me was a huge, I don't know if I want to say comfort, but it was an escape for me. Music, and I also have written all these little ditties, excuse me, where I'll take like a Bon Jovi song and I'll change the lyrics, and then I write it about someone in the community. Like I've done several songs on Jen. I'll have to send you some of them. They're pretty funny. Hey, Jen Bailey, clean your filthy home. Bow, bow, bow. Because her apartment used to be, she keeps her house clean now, but she didn't used to back in the day. But I've known Jen for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. But we were like arch enemies for a couple of years. Like I'd say 3 months maybe have been talking and got past all that crap. And
That's
where is
good.
she anyway?
Supposed to be here. She's not here. I sent her the link. I messaged her the link.
She's terrible about being on time, and I'll tell her that to her face. But her and I play off each other really well. She's got that sarcastic sense of humor, and I'm very snarky. So, and we both, we've been through some things. So if she's having a day and being completely irrational, I can just, make her laugh at herself. And we'll say things to each other that it's like, man, that is so true, but I really didn't want to hear that. Like she said to me the other day, you run from, she's like, we had that falling out and you just disappeared for years. Yeah, that's what I do. So, but we can have that, we can be truthful with each other like that, and we don't get mad at each other,
Yep.
Like I had a complete meltdown about a week ago. Like I came into her room and I was like, you need to call me now, end this stream now. Now, Jen, no. And she did. She ended her stream and she called me and she stayed on the phone and talked me down and got me back into a place where I was going to be okay. But there's not many people who will just abandon what they're doing, to come to your aid. So I'm very thankful for her friendship. She's a bitch, but she's good people. And there's not many people, at least in my life, where I can just totally be who I am and not feel like I'm going to be judged for it. Because she's been through some similar things.
That's important when you have friends that you can relate to.
Yeah. My best friend in real life.
It's important to have a friend that you could call upon when you're going through something. Somebody you can call and they're not going to, judge you or criticize you. They're just going to listen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my best friend we were best friends for 50 years. I met her on the first day of kindergarten. And any woman in this chat will understand this. When you have your restroom breaks, there's always a line for the women because there's a lot more we got to do in there. And so there was a huge line. My best friend had to go really bad. So she just bent over to see if there was feet under the stall, of the boys' bathroom. We're talking kindergarten. So the bathrooms are side by side and then you have the little stall doors,
Chicken snake. Hold on. Hold that thought. Chicken snake. I am not pro medication. I am pro therapy.
Same.
Okay.
I don't take any medication.
I am pro therapy.
Now I was on medication for years, but it just all it does now if it works for you, that's great. I'm happy for you. But for me, it would just mask the problem. And then eventually I would get to a point where the dam would break and the medicine wouldn't help anymore. So then they'd put me on something else and it would work for a little while. Like I have hypoinsomnia and I just came off of not sleeping for 9 days. I finally slept last night. And when I woke up this morning, I'm like, all right, this is a turning point. We're doing this, Susan. We're doing it. And so I did. I left my house and I'm going to leave my house tomorrow too. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm leaving. And I'm going to keep doing it.
We're going to go out to dinner.
Say again?
She's going on a road trip. We're going out to dinner.
Woohoo! Chipotle. I had a really hard time deciding between Chipotle and pizza, and I ordered a pizza. And that's another big thing, because to punish myself, I wouldn't eat. I wouldn't listen to music. I had the radio on in my car today and listened to music for the first time in 2 years. And I didn't realize that I was punishing myself, but that's what I do. So then I wouldn't eat. I only weigh, I'm 5'5" and I weigh 105 pounds. Like I said, I look like a teenage boy with a mutant nipple problem, it's not attractive. I look like my dad, man. There's like no curves, so skinny. So my goal is I want to gain 40 pounds before my daughter's wedding. And I'm going to be there. And I'm not going to be scared. I'm going to keep going out of my house till I'm not scared.
Well, Rhett's mom, therapy is not for everyone. Okay, I'm just pro therapy, and the reason why I'm pro therapy is therapy's for specific people. Okay, you got to want the therapy to help you. You got to want to help yourself. You know, if you're able to deal with your own problems, that is a plus, because there's a lot of us out here who can't control our own thoughts, and we need help.
Yeah, I can go deep and hard into that negativity. It's very easy for me to do. And when I have someone sitting across from me who can kind of roadmap me out of that.
Yes, guidance, just a guidance. And that's
Yeah.
what therapy is supposed to be for, is guidance. You know,
Yeah.
not to tell you how to live life or what life to live. It's just to give you a plan, and you work that plan yourself.
And you know what? It doesn't matter to me if you do therapy or you meditate or whatever it is, so long as it's not, uh, self-mutilating yourself, harmful, and it helps you. I'm for it. There are people that, they just meditate a couple times a day, and for them, that's therapeutic. For me, I would get nothing out of that. But my next door neighbor does it twice a day, and if he misses a couple days, he's like, "Oh my God, I need to get centered." He says it all the time. I need to get centered. And like we're all different. Every one of us. We all don't like the same things. And as long as it helps you and it's not hurting anybody, cool, do it.
So I can't pronounce it, chicken snake, but it has to do with, if I'm correct, it's linked to Parkinson's, if I'm correct. It has health conditions linked to Parkinson's, if I'm correct. I don't know much about it. I have heard it, chicken snake. I have heard of it.
So I even, I had a therapist at one point that had me doing ketamine infusion therapy. Have you ever heard of that? That is
What
some
is it?
hardcore ketamine infusions.
No, I haven't heard of that.
It's like that new, I think it's called Sopara. It's like a nasal spray that they, once you take it, they have to monitor you for like 2 hours, and it's supposed to reset your receptors so that you're not depressed. It would just,
Okay, right here it says akathisia is a neuropsychotic syndrome that causes a person to feel restless and have uncontrollable urge to move, usually in their legs. The name comes from the Greek word akathemi, which means inability to sit. Is often a side effect of certain medications, especially antipsychotic psychotics, but can also be caused by other substances such as calcium channel blockers, antibiotics, anti-nausea, and anti-vertigo drugs. It can also be linked to health conditions like Parkinson's disease.
weight training, that's what my dad used, Bart. He would work out every single day for an hour, and that kept him straight. But I don't know, when I get depressed, I have absolutely no motivation to get up and do anything. I just want to lay there in my own stank and feel sorry for myself. And what's that get me? Feeling worse?
Thank you, Fruit Loops, and how you doing? Thank you, Chicken Snake, for joining us. Chicken Snake said, I will turn my wife onto your channel. Have a good one, guys. You're always welcome. You're always welcome. Get sun and fresh air. Yes. Get sun and fresh air is always important. Stepping outside and taking a deep breath. Just enjoy the fresh air. It helps a lot.
Yes, going outside. I'm being outside today, and even though it was freezing and being around other people, I was like, oh my gosh, I just feel so normal right now. Why have I been depriving myself and punishing myself all these years? But, you know, I have honestly been sick, but I could have still done I could have went to my family's houses and, you know, participated, but instead I would have just stayed here on my own. You know, my second husband, who was the love of my life, ended up dying during the swine flu epidemic, and he was only 44.
Oh, that
I was
sucks.
40. I was 41. He was 44, and yeah, that was really hard. So this was our house, and that's why I've been so reluctant to leave, because I felt like, because I feel him here, I really do, and so I didn't want to leave it. But I've had many conversations with people where, you know, it's the memory, not the house.
Correct. It is the memory in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
You will always remember him.
He
You
was
know,
quirky just like me.
there'll be a sound that you will hear. Yep, I remember him. There'll be a thought that'll come across your mind about him. Memories.
Yeah, he was a good guy. That was paper towels ripping, not me farting, by the way. You heard that. My pizza just got here. Jen Bailey, you need to come up on panel and talk so I can eat my pizza.
But I want to thank you for coming up.
Yes, I'm sorry I
You
talked
are
so much.
amazing. No. You shared your story. Do you know how many people you're going to help just sharing your story?
Well, I
You
love the idea that my life can, you know, help someone else. And I have never talked about these things online. And like, I've been around this community for a minute, you know, I think 4 years, 5 years, something like that. And I shared some things, but never like the whole tamale, you know. But I'm not afraid of it anymore. It made me who I am, and I am a fucking amazing person.
That's all that matters. You're amazing. It's all that
So
matters.
thank you for letting me come up and talk. I'm gonna eat my pizza, and hopefully I'm gonna see what's up with Jen. I'm sure she's stuck on the phone with her mother-in-law.
Probably.
But
Yep.
I'm gonna see what's up with her and get her in here, and I'll come back up another time. And it
You're
was
always
really
welcome
nice.
here, Sweaty.
I'm really glad I got to meet you. It's such a how funny how things turn out. But
how the jokes happen.
yeah.
Come up on panel or somebody else's panel and I got a nickname. The conversations. But, you know, it is weird how you meet somebody.
Yeah.
You know, who knows? It could be a
Yeah.
long-lasting friendship.
I think it probably will, you know. I feel like you were a part of the turning point. So thank you for that.
And I'm glad that you conquered some of your fear, and your conquering is not over. It's just getting started. So you take care, Sweaty. All right, I'll bring you down that way. What's up, Vermont Cheddar?
My back good?
Your mic is good.
Word. All right. I just wanted to fill in the gaps here. I called my first cavalryman today.
Yep.
He did Iraq, when they played metal in the Under Armour Hummers. And so we always do buddy checks. Make sure we're okay.
That's important. Buddy checks.
If you don't know what that means, I could send a
I know
link.
what it means.
But it
I know
just
what buddy
means
checks mean.
it just means you check on your friends and you make sure everybody's okay. And I called him. He's like, "You don't sound okay." And I'm like, "No, I'm right smack dab in the middle of my right goddamn mind. I might have a little PTSD left, but it's wearing off. I think I saved. I can't claim anything. I don't want to say anything that I can't. But my father had sepsis. I told you. You know
Yep.
this. And he was shaking. He was falling down. He didn't know who he was. And I got him to the hospital. And I'm going to go soon and get off these fucking medications.
Take it one step at a time, brother.
But you know what? It's the fucking benzos, man. It takes a year.
Just breathe. Just breathe, Vermont. Just breathe.
My blood pressure was like 140 over, like, I don't know. It was good, decent blood pressure. My BPMs were like 120. So I'm okay, but I'm still always waking up in the middle of the night, trembling and shaking.
Not night sweats, right?
Yeah.
I know what those are. I understand where
And
you're coming from.
I'm trapped in the middle of two goddamn rocks. And I don't know how to fucking find a way out.
Got to curve the language, Vermont. Just the language.
I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good, brother. You're good.
But
You being here and talking about it helps you.
yes, it does. And I'm very grateful for you to be here to help me.
Well, I reached out to you on another friend's channel, and from that point on, we've stayed connected.
Yeah.
In the background, and what we talk about is nobody's business.
Yeah, we don't talk often, but we talk.
No, but we do, and it's important when we do. And I consider you a friend. So,
dude, you have no idea what I am capable of.
I do.
I love pain because after pain, I get pleasure.
Yeah, and let's not go there, Vermont. I know where you're going. And I love you, bro.
All right, listen, I don't want to, take up your whatever. I just wanted to fill in if anybody wants to come on and share anything.
Yep.
I'm always here listening. Sometimes live, sometimes later.
And you know how to reach out to me too, brother, if you need to talk.
Nah, I don't need to talk. I'm
right, just saying if you do. I'm just saying if you do, or when you need to, you can reach out to me anytime.
My one last word?
Yes.
I was gifted a Vietnam jacket.
That's awesome.
And I am not a soldier. I am not military. I'm not police. But I'm a soldier of God and my religion. In my belief. And in Hanukkah, we have a rule that we get to bring down cruelty, hatred, and abuse. And I want to share that and say that if you believe in something, anything, no matter what it is, trust me, it will guide you.
Yep.
All
I
right.
agree.
I love you all. Good night.
Good night, brother. Love you too. So Sweaty left and went to eat pizza. So, and Rhett's mom, you're always welcome here. See, she's in the background. She's in chat. She's eating pizza. She's good. So, thank you for the compliment, Jack. I try to do what I can to help people and be there for people. You know, you said I want to open your heart and let somebody in. That's all you got to do. Just stick out a hand. Just stick out your hand and say, I need help. There's no shame in it. No shame in it whatsoever. Asking for help. H. Davis, what's going on, brother? Oh, Jen's on her way? She's finally showing up. There's no shame in asking for help. There's no shame in it. No shame in it. Because some of us need a hand. You never know what somebody's going through. We got two people in chat that know each other. Interesting. So I want to let people know January 1st. January 1st. Hold on just a second, sweet misery. Yes, you're right, Jack. It'll make friendships that last a lifetime. So January 1st, there's a competition. It's a trivia competition. It's a members only live. Women who win first place gets a item from my merch store. Men who win first place gets an item from my merch store. So you and Sweaty know each other, sweet misery?
Yeah, I know of her from a community I left. I know Jen Bailey very well.
Isn't that wild?
Jen Bailey and I know each other very, very well.
Oh.
Her friend. Yeah.
You guys get along?
Yeah.
For my sake?
I love Jen.
Good. That's awesome. That's good. I was hoping it was something good, nothing bad.
No
What's
way.
up, Kid Walker Dan? How you doing? January 1st, Rhett's mom's going to be 65. So, she's going to be 65. Just a baby. 65 years old, that's a baby. Jen, how you doing?
Don't forget about our show Sunday, everybody. I'm doing a show.
Yes. We're covering a hot topic. You know, like the store Hot Topic, but we're covering a Hot Topic Sunday. What's today? Thursday?
Yes.
Yep. So I'm going to take 2 days off, Friday and Saturday, like I used to. I need to. I need to take a break. I've been neglecting myself.
Well, that's
So,
never a good thing to do.
yeah. Since I have come back live, it's been nonstop for a whole month. Oh, it hit topic Sunday, a new ice cream. So I'm doing all right, Jenny Jen. I'm doing all right. Hot Topic is where all the emo shop. Aussie True Crime, welcome in, friend. Welcome in, friend. How you doing?
Hey, Aussie True Crime. So, okay, Eddie, let's talk real talk.
Okay.
Should I start my channel back up? No,
It's gotta
I'm
be
not.
something.
Like,
What I'm going to say is it's got to be something you want to do. Okay? It's not something that somebody else wants you to do. It's something that you want to be passionate about. Because having a channel takes a lot of work.
that's the thing that I don't know if I want to do what I was doing or if I want to just do trials or if I want to do something totally different. Like, I don't know.
Look
'Cause I
at
don't.
that. 9 months. She's almost been here since almost. Yeah. You creeping on it. 9 months. That's amazing. Thank you, Aussie True Crime.
She is amazing.
What's going on, Jen?
Hey, Jen.
See, that's my nickname, Dad Bod. Dad Bod. So, here's the link.
Come
She
up,
knows
Jen.
you.
I know she knows me.
She's like, Christy Marie. Christy's my
I'm dead.
Christy is my ex. Oh boy. What's going on here?
I used to shave her back hair. I mean, I'm sorry, not shave. I used to braid her back hair.
Oh my
Don't
word.
don't tell anyone I told you that, okay, Eddie?
Here she is. Hold on. Here she is.
Hi, Chrissy. I used to shave
Hey,
my back.
Jen.
How you
Remember
doing,
I
girl?
used to braid it? I'm good. How are you?
Well, I mean, there's a little bit of a story behind Chrissy and I, if you want to hear it. Wait a minute.
That's funny. Small world, isn't it, Jen?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Christy, do you want to tell me about how we met and how we're here now, broken up, single, haven't talked for a while?
You
This
can
is a
tell
place
them
that's
how
safe.
we met.
Oh my God, I guess if I have to, because I'm such a sorry ass. But anyway, Christy and I met about 4 years ago. And I've never yet seen Christy Marie physically, but mentally, we used to be entwined, shall I say, right, Christy?
Pretty much.
Christy's my ex. She's the girl that I say when I was in band camp, that happened. No, I'm kidding. I know Christy Marie like 4 years ago, and she had a nice nickname. I didn't personally like it. Well, I liked it, but she didn't like it. And I don't know, Christy Marie, how the hell do I know you, man? I've known Christy Marie since forever.
Amber.
Yes, Chief.
Amber started her channel.
Mm-hmm. Christy Marie was the first person I ever interviewed that said she had feelings for me, and she did.
Stop, Jen.
I was surprised because I knew your voice, and I was like, I looked up and I saw Christy, and it said "Sweet Misery." I was like, "Ooh, I'm saying Christy," because I came around when it was "Sweet Misery," girl.
Nobody knows. I mean,
I met Sweet Misery. What was it? A little over a year ago. I met you.
Well, Christy Marie is somebody that like I've known for a very, very long time. I would call her a vet and a creator and a good mod because Christy actually is one of the people that can. Well, I don't want to confirm it, but what I've talked about that happened leading up to my Folsom set. So Christy definitely knew that my head was equivalent to scrambled eggs. But now that we're here, Christy, what's going on in your life?
same every day, the same stuff. I go to work and I come home. That's it.
Well, don't relinquish where you work. I'm sure 3/4 of the world knows. But anyhow,
they do.
Penelope, your furry four-legged friend, not your ex, your furry.
She's outside right now. They're outside right now. I have another one.
Okay. Are you single?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, Dad bod isn't, so get that out of your head. Okay. Hey, do you want to tell everybody what kind of happened in the chat today, Dad bod? That way people want to come in and you're a little more serious and professional. I myself am not. Do you want to tell them like what
No, you're not serious and professional. So
hey, get locked.
I came in the chat. I came into her channel one time, came up on panel, we were talking. I said, I used to have a 6-pack, now I have a dad bod. Mm-hmm. So from that on, she started calling me Dad bod. Even though I told her
Christy,
even though I told her my
I
told her my real name. I told her my real name, and she still calls me Dad bod.
Because I don't remember what your real name is.
Eddie. But
yeah, but you're more Dad bod.
Yes. So
you want to tell him how I used to behave?
No, I really don't. It's kind of embarrassing.
No, it isn't. It's a freaking Christy. Just because we were friends, you don't have to like. Listen, everything that I said was absolutely true. Christy had this nickname. Do you know what nickname I'm talking about? Keister.
Oh, Keister. Yeah.
Keister in the butthole, and I was like, "What the hell does that mean?" they called me genocide, amongst other things, and I was like, "Christy, why do they keep saying that?" And then she explained it, and I was like, "It's still kind of catchy, Christy. I just wish it didn't mean that."
Do you know Sweaty was up here earlier, Jen?
What?
Sweaty was up here.
Yeah, she said that. She called me and she goes, "Are you coming in?" And I said, "Yeah, what are you doing?" She goes, "I found another one. I'm plucking it." And she'll be back in. She said, "I think I want to go back up there."
Yeah,
I didn't know who that was.
That's Sweaty,
until she said, I know, but not until she said your name. And then I put 2 and 2 together. And I was like, that's who that is. And so I was like,
DC,
oh, yeah.
How you doing? So
what all are we talking about?
She came up.
Story?
Oh, man. You know, I learned a lot about Sweaty. Amazing person.
Mm-hmm.
She came out here and opened her heart and soul.
Yep. She's a deep gal. She has a very
you know what? She said some things. She even said there was things she said that she didn't think she was going to ever say, and she opened up.
Yeah, I talked to her after the live before she went in there, and she was like her whole attitude, because a couple of days ago she was like in the dumps, and as of where she is now, oh yeah, I am so freaking happy.
Yeah, because I think the last time I talked to her before today was a few days ago, and I was talking to her about conquering fear. And then today, she talked about going out for 3 hours, and that was amazing to hear.
Yeah, she plucked today too.
That was amazing.
I think that would happen, huh?
What's up, Buddha Bug? How you doing?
Yeah, how you doing?
So But
What's going on with you?
so Sunday, I will have Sweet Misery on panel. Sunday.
She doesn't talk about it. What's she going to cover? It's like pulling teeth
We're
to
going to
get this
cover.
kind of stuff, eh?
We're going to cover DID, dissociative identity disorder.
Borderline personality disorder, Jen. Borderline personality disorder.
I think I've heard of that.
I didn't know it was called DID also. I really didn't know that.
I think the girl from Teen Mom, they said she has it on top of bipolar. And I'm like, wow, that's a lot. A lot. It's more complex. I'll probably come in to listen to that because I've only covered a few things. Borderline personality disorder. No.
Actually, no. So it is borderline personality disorder. Multiple personality disorder is DID. So we're going to cover BP. Okay, so we're going to cover borderline personality disorder on Sunday. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to say I never heard DID before.
Do you deal with mental health?
That's for
Chrissy?
people who have multiple personalities.
I have borderline personality disorder and bipolar.
All right, H. Davis, you can turn the camera off.
Hey, everybody.
Everybody meet H. Davis.
Hey, H. Davis, I never got your email.
I don't know what happened, Sweet Misery.
Me either.
So you guys are talking to a celebrity right now, H. Davis.
Appreciate you.
He's a competitor in the Special Olympics, and he has 64 medals. And he has how many gold medals?
About 20 to 30.
20 gold medals.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
How many?
I told him I need a poster. I need a full-size poster with his autograph on it, wearing all the medals.
The best I can do is all things serious. I can get you a screenshot of it. That's the best I can do.
So when did you start competing? How old were you?
What'd you say?
When did you start competing? Like, what's your jam? Where do you go? What do you excel at, and what are you working on?
Well, what I'm working on now is I'm working on. I already told myself I'm going into 2025, going my second degree. And I do just about all the sports.
What's your favorite one though?
Favorite got to be basketball and flag football.
Hey, I'm good at horse, but you know what I want to be? I want to be an ice skater. That's what I want to be.
It's
like
fun.
Nancy Kerrigan, not like the Tanya one. I want to be a good ice skater.
Yeah, it's
not an angry one.
It's interesting because Special Olympics have that. We call that Winter Games. That's what I'll be at January 12th.
Does anybody know how to do the triple ones?
No.
I would love to do ice skating. Christy Marie. Christy Marie.
Yes, ma'am.
Why the delay?
I was muted. I was letting y'all talk.
Oh. So
she was being respectful. See that? She was being respectful.
Yeah, that's very good. Well, Christy Marie, do you still like to play tennis? You always said that you liked all the balls that flew at your face. Christy Marie, this is not you having good manners. You're doing something.
Read what Sweaty just said. Y'all, if you ever had everything crust pizza with garlic cream cheese dip from Cottage Inn, trust me when I say it's an orgasm on crust, which Krusty Krab should normally be avoided.
Oh my God. First off, I didn't do any of that. And second, after she used the word crusty and orgasm, I was like, yeah, I don't want no part of that.
Oh, wow.
Yes, that's why I thought it from the Divergent Collective. They said, what in Amber from Clueless did you just say? I said, Christy Marie loves tennis because she loves all the balls that fly at her face.
Oh, my word.
Christy Marie.
You know, my channel has just got limited monetization now.
So, no, see, it's not going to get into monetization. You know what? I don't know why people say that because I curse, I smoked, I did everything on my channel that you're not supposed to do, say, or whatever, and I've always gotten green dots on every single one of my lives.
Monetized all things serious. Oh my gosh. All I have to do is finish up my watch hours and it's like in like Flint, dude. You're
You should
controversial.
finish up your watch hours.
Okay, I'll go to sleep listening to you. That's what I'm not saying that you're the
Go to sleep listening to you.
Well, no, somebody said that they just have to have noise. There's nobody that would really like to listen to me while they're asleep. If there is, I'd like to know because Clint says I'm too loud. So, Mr. Davis, do you like long walks on the beach?
I do. Now, speaking of beach, we don't have no beach part of Indiana where I live, but it's starting the new year off. I'm doing a 3-mile hike.
Oh, wow. Have you trained for it?
Oh yeah, I have. I do it every year going in the new year.
Right. Hold on. Get Locked says, I'll never get watch hours on my channel. Yes, you will if you give me the link to it. I'll go subscribe and I'll watch it. And another way you can watch hours is you don't have to turn it up, right? So you could just play it and walk away and do something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You have a channel page, Davis?
Create playlists too. Create a playlist so you can play one video and it'll play all the videos.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you make me big for a second? I'm gonna tell you. You know when I came on, you said I was a celebrity. It's a reason why. I don't know if y'all can see it. It says Hollywood.
Hollywood.
My friend see that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Are you going to get me one so we can be twins?
Well, somebody got it for me for Christmas.
Wait, what state did you say you're in? And I can confirm or deny if I live close.
I'm in Indiana.
Really? Christy Marie knows where I live. Am I close to him or not?
I know where you live, however, I'm not good with geography and I don't know where the two are on the map. Sorry.
We're right next to each other. I'm in the
Okay,
Buckeye
well,
State.
y'all are close.
I'm in the Buckeye State. So you know where Lawrenceburg and Greensburg are?
I heard it. Oh, yeah.
Hold on. Somebody's calling me. I can't confirm who it is. Hold, please.
I like how she said that. Hopefully, no, being serious. On a serious note, I don't think I'm a celebrity though.
I
Sure
think
you are.
are.
Not many people have accomplished what you've accomplished.
I give it all to the man upstairs. To be on a serious note,
Nan, come up on panel, please.
I'm so glad you guys don't hold. This guy is totally fan crushing on me. He thought when Davis said that he was a celebrity, he thought that I had said it, and he's like totally fangirling on me. Hold, please.
Nan, I told you to email me. I'm telling you, we are going through the same exact thing right now. That's why I asked Eddie what I did earlier. We need to talk. But I'm on Eddie's Discord now.
I'm literally serious about getting that app back.
I wish she would come up here.
Yeah, I had 2 more medals at the January 14th. I had 2 more to my collection.
So
I'm still here, just so you know. He's being fickle. Hold on. Hold, please.
hold, please. Hold, please.
Sound like Brittany.
Wow.
Trista Scott, how you doing? She's in Indiana, H. Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Born and raised.
Same here.
I bet you guys are neighbors and don't even know it.
Probably so.
My sister's in Sullivan, Indiana.
Oh wow. Yeah, we probably are. Neighbors don't even know it. That'd be interesting.
So she had to leave.
Hey, where'd she go?
She probably had to deal with something.
Oh,
But it's about that time anyway.
thanks for having me up.
I will see you Sunday.
Yes, you sure will. Bye, everyone. Bye, H. Davis. Bye,
Bye,
Jen.
sweet misery.
H. Davis, thank you for joining us on panel.
Oh, no problem. Can I say something real quick before?
Yeah, big dog.
Well, she's in Jackson. I'm familiar with Jackson County. That's all I just wanted to say.
Okay.
All right. I'm finna jump down because we gotta make a phone call.
All right, brother.
All right, peace.
Peace. All right, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me. With that being said, All Things Serious is out, my friends. Hold on before I leave. Hold on. Actually, I'm going to end it now, and I'm going to talk to you in the background. All right, Nan? Is that fine?
Let's talk about the mind for a minute. The kind of battles fought, you don't just win it. It's a war zone inside, no camouflage. Every thought's a grenade, sitting ready to barrage. Growing up, they said man up, but never speak up. So I bottled it all, like a shaking soda cup. Pressure building inside, I could feel it crack. But the world outside only sees the mask, not the fact. Depression knocking at the door, anxiety's my guest. They invited themselves in, now I'm under duress. But mental health ain't a weakness, it's the strength to own. Every scar, every fear, every struggle we've honed.